Wow, lovely. It's great to have you in studio. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, them mushrooms are in the building. I'm telling you, they will be singing some of our favorite songs like Waze Wakatike. Waze Wakatike, and some other very nice Nyambura, I love you, like fish and chips. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining us on KTN Friday Briefing. My name is Betty Kyalo. As you can see, we are ready to kick the weekend. Let's get this started. Let's start the weekend in style. Is that right? Big style. We have the mushrooms. They will be performing live on KTN Friday Briefing tonight. Tell us what songs you'd like them to perform, and of course they are here at your service. But also on the show we have the biggest football stars in Kenya, East Africa. I'm talking about Victor Wanyama and Arnold Origi. They will be joining me shortly. They are going to be talking about football and of course so many other things that have been coming up lately. It's a packed show, I'm telling you. I'm so excited. I hope you are. Let's get it started. The Labor Relations Court in Nairobi has warned teachers' unions that they must file papers in court on Monday to justify the strike. The court, however, refused to declare the teacher strike illegal, saying they have a constitutional right to go on strike. Well, this came as the government announced it will await the determination of the Court of Appeal on the matter of the teachers' pay increment before making any decision regarding the teachers' strike.
Want to appeal to all teachers to heed the TSC's call for teachers to go back to work. The Commission as the employer, note this, very important, the Commission as the employer is the only body mandated by law to instruct teachers on what should be done. We shall do whatever is within our powers, yes, to ensure that the examinations are conducted. Remember, this is not the first time examinations have been conducted in this country under these circumstances. In 1997, that was done. Therefore, if you talk about institutional memory, we have had the experience on this matter. And let us also say this. We don't work in isolation. The other countries where strikes will go on in education emergencies. And the emergencies are diverse. Therefore, we can ask you use best practices to ensure that education in this particular case, which is an emergency, is held.
Now, those new developments in the stalemate lead us to our big question tonight, and we are asking you, do you agree with the Education Cabinet Secretary Jacob Kaimenyi that the teacher strike will not affect the national examinations? Do you agree with Kaimenyi that this teacher strike will not affect national examinations? That's our focus tonight. We'd like to hear from you. The number to text in is 22155 and the hashtag on Twitter is Friday Briefing. Keep the comments coming. We'll be sampling them in a few minutes. Now, the Inspector General of Police has declared Boni Forest in Lamu County hostile territory ahead of a major security operation. Residents living around the forest have been asked to surrender firearms and ammunition, whether legal or illegal, and vacate. In a Gazette notice dated September 3rd, Joseph Boynet told the residents to surrender weapons to the nearest police stations or administrative offices during the day for safe custody. Security forces have in the recent past warned that Al-Shabaab militants had set up bases in the vast forest from where they launch ambushes in Lamu. CORD leader Raila Odinga has backed embattled Deputy Inspector General of Police Grace Kaindi on her move against vacating office despite President Uhuru Kenyatta's decision to remove her from office. Raila accused the National Police Service Commission Chairperson Johnston Kavuludi of dancing to the president's tune instead of asserting the commission's independence. Raila spoke in Bondo in Siaya County as the Kenya Attorney General Githu Muigai defending Kaindi's removal, saying she had reached the retirement of 60.
What these people have done to come up with amendments to the Independent Police Commission Act is a violation of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. That's why I've asked Madam Kaindi to stay put. And if they proceed, we will go to court to declare what Uhuru is doing null and void. We cannot allow Banakan Kaiseri and Uhuru Kenyatta to continue meddling with the hiring and firing and promotions of police officers. They don't have those powers. They should not take over the work of the Independent Police Commission. And Mr. Kabuloni should not play the role of a flower girl to Mr. Kaiseri. Mr. Kabuloni and his people have got powers given to them. And them and the Police Oversight Authority. And what they have done is an abomination to the people of Kenya.
Harvesting rituals date back to ancient times and involve thanking the gods for a successful crop growing season. For the Abawanga of Western Kenya, Nabongo Mumie is widely regarded as the last great ruler of the Wanga kingdom. Today, the Mwanga identifies more with a modern way of life, and his grandson and current Nabongo Peter Mumie II has the challenge of reinventing the kingdom and keeping it relevant. The king has blessed the harvest, and we will tell you why his blessing is very important.
The Wanga are a nation of the Luhya people, and the historical kingdom has its place in time even in present-day Kenya. The Nabongo, their king, wielded such great influence over his kingdom. He had his Velitoho, his elders at the court, and he was the epitome of peace and stability, the custodian of their tradition and custom. Agriculture was and still remains the pulse of life for this kingdom. Crops such as maize, sorghum and millet most dominant, and in later years vast belts of sugarcane. This year's harvest is complete and some of it ongoing. And here at the Nabongo Cultural Center at Matugu, Kakamega, the king must bless it. The harvest ritual is intricate, nuanced, blood shed to signify an important covenant, and the first fruit of the harvest served to the elders. Nabongo Peter Mumie II ascended to the throne in 1974. His time is unlike that of his grandfather, the great Nabongo Mumie, whose reign and influence is still unrivaled.
Whatever you saw today being blessed as the new harvest is for traditional foods. Maybe what you did not see is vegetable and whatever. All those are there. So we make sure that our elders here, they go around telling people that they should not forget our traditional foods.
After the ritual is complete, the harvest is blessed, traditional brew is served. This has been significant generation after generation.
Changes are many, Dorcas. As a traditional leader in a country where the constitution does not recognize you as a leader and only recognizes the culture that you belong to, it is so challenging in that when you talk about leadership, it's like you are talking to people who do not understand what you're talking about.
Today, according to demographic estimates, the Abawanga number close to 800,000 and retain the Nabongo as their cultural monarch. Planting crop remains a way of life, as is there is a dilemma prevailing, with many farmers and in Mumias having turned to sugarcane experienced great losses. Agriculturalists say such a move has led to a looming food shortage, with a lot of food coming in from other counties. The blessing is one, as the Nabongo says, encourages farmers to value their heritage and the crops they have always known and relied on. And if the tide is reversed from cash crop to food crop with wiser land tenure, the blessing is worth its weight. Dorcas Wangira, KTN News, Kakamega.
Interesting piece there by my colleague Dorcas. And you know what, we want to bring in our football stars. Like I mentioned, it's a packed show tonight. We have Victor Wanyama, who plays for Southampton, also known as Saints. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
And Arnold Origi, who plays for a team that has a very difficult name, Lillestrøm. Lillestrøm, I got it.
I got it.
Guys, it's great to have you in studio.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
Yeah? Are you happy to be back home?
Yeah, we are happy to be back home and also representing our country, so we are really happy to be here.
So what do you miss when you're far away? Well, what do you miss about Kenya, about home?
A lot of things.
Like what?
The atmosphere at home, you know, the friendliness of the people back at home, the food,
yes,
the weather.
The weather.
Yeah, so everything that has to do with Kenya.
Everything. Already, Wanyama, I think you mix the food a lot.
Yeah, the food, also the weather, and also the people around, you know.
Okay. So you guys will be playing for Harambee Stars on Sunday. How is that? Are you excited to be back home and actually, you know, playing for the team against the other guys, Polo?
Yeah, you know, we're excited, and also, you know, we have a tough task on Sunday, so we are ready for it. So hopefully we can go and give the Kenyans also a good result.
Yes. And when you train with the team members, are they always so excited to hear? So, you know, how are we doing? How can we do this better? Are they always so willing to hear what your experiences overseas?
Yeah, of course, especially the young ones. They're always eager and ask a lot of questions like, how are things there? How are you doing there? Like, what does it take for you to be able to make it in Europe? So yeah, it's always a nice experience for us to be back, and also for them at least to learn a few things from us.
A few things. You know, when I said that you will be coming, and I tweeted it, you know, some of the questions that I was getting is if you would have a choice to play for a local team, which one would it be? Gor Mahia, AFC, Nigani?
For me, I think AFC Leopards.
AFC Leopards.
Yeah.
Origi?
And for me, the Green Army.
The Green Army. Gor Mahia. All right, there have been some very new developments with you, Wanyama, especially in regard to the transfers. And, you know, the question on many people's minds is that why did the Tottenham Hotspur's talks collapse? Would you have a reason or, you know, anything to do about that in terms of a reaction to that?
Honestly, I don't know what happened, but you know, I have a contract with Southampton, and I respect that. So whatever happened, it's behind me. So I think I have to put my head down and work hard and try to help Southampton.
And then, you know, there are reports that they want to lock you down for about 5 years. Is that true, and what is your reaction to that? Just to make sure that you don't go anywhere because of that, what happened?
I just had that when I arrived here in Kenya, but I think when I go back then we'll have time to speak about that. So at the moment I don't know much about that.
Okay, all right. Origi, let's talk about your team. Have you know, what team would you want to play with, you know, from the main EPL?
In the Premier League, basically, you know, the Premier League is one of the biggest leagues in the world, and you know, it would be an honor to play just to participate in the league. Any team for me would do so, because it's one of the biggest league, and I think it's a dream for every player to play there. So if any offer comes from whichever club, I'll be more than happy to.
You'll be more than happy to do that. And when you compare the kind of you know, the way football is handled overseas and, you know, locally, like in Kenya, what are some of the things that, you know, you would wish to see in terms of changes, in terms of transformations in the football?
I think back home, I think here we are a little bit behind, but it will take a lot of work to get where English Premiership it is right now. But we have to start in the grassroots. So I think if I start talking about that, then it will take it can even take a day, because there is a lot to be done.
All right, but also talking about, you had something to say.
Yeah, but also I think you know, professionalism would go a long way to help in helping us build a fantastic product, because we have the raw product in the players. We have fantastic talent in this country. So if just a bit of professionalism was implemented in the leagues, I think we can have something. We can have a product that we as Kenyans we can be proud of.
All right. We've also had an issue with, just about 2 weeks ago, we had an issue with, you know, a Gor Mahia, a match where, you know, some things were done and the match actually had to be stopped. You know, looking at the kind of passion, so to speak. What is the advice that you can give to fans out there, you know, considering what you've been able to see, you know, overseas?
For me, I think, personally, I think that wasn't good. Wasn't good thing.
Yeah.
What happened that day? Because I think football is a game of making friends, and also it doesn't involve violence.
Yes.
So it wasn't a good thing what happened, and that shouldn't happen again, because you never know who you are hurting. Because you might be hurting your
parents,
your friend, you never know who you are. You might need him or her afterwards, so we have to be careful.
Okay. Origi, let's talk about the youth of Kenya and inspiring them to get into football, to get into the arts, because, you know, in the past it was, what do you want to be? I want to be a footballer, and your parents would look at you like, what do you mean? But, you know, talking to parents who are listening, is it worth it?
I think so. I had a problem when I was growing up. My dad, as everybody knows, was a famous footballer, but he wasn't really interested in me playing football. But my advice to the parents is just to let them be whatever they want to be, because it's not every kid that can become a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant at the bank. You know, someone can be a musician, and the other one can be an artisan, a football player, and have a decent life out of whatever talent that they have. So, you know, just give them a chance and never shut them down.
All right. And talking about chances, did you guys ever think that you would get to where you are right now, playing for this big leagues? Did you ever think that one day you'd be seated here and, you know, saying, you know, all these things about your great team, Southampton?
I think that was just a dream, you know, to me. But I never doubted myself. Like I just had to follow my dreams, and I had to work hard to get there. And I think that's what made me who I am now. Just working hard. All
right. Working hard and being passionate about it.
Of course, you have to work hard. You have to be dedicated, you know, because when we were in school, we used to laugh at the kids who, you know, would stay behind to do that extra reading, or would come a bit earlier than the others too. But the same principles also apply in football. You know, you have to stay behind to do a little bit extra. To sharpen your skills, and you have to be there. You have to prepare yourself a little bit before the coach comes, so that you're ready for training, so that you can be able to get to maximize the 1.5 hours that you have on the pitch if you're well prepared. So same principle applies. You just have to work hard and be dedicated
and you know, obedient and
obedient and disciplined.
Committed. All right. And talking about mentorship, we're just about to wind up. Talking about mentorship, do you mentor, you know, upcoming footballers, and how can they get into contact with you? People, you know, they're watching and they're wondering, wow, I'd like to speak to them and, you know, share, so that they can share their stories.
Yeah, I think we do, because most of the academies here in Nairobi, all over the country, in Embu, they have been in touch, and we have been there talking to the kids. So we try to give back that way as well.
All right, giving back.
Yeah, and also like as far as communicating with us, especially me, as far as concerned, you know, I'm on Facebook, Twitter. You know, so I get a lot of messages. Of course, it's not easy to reply all of them, but we try our best to reply the ones that we can, and just give them a word of advice, a word of encouragement, and just show them that you can make it if you believe. Just dare to dream.
All right. And another question I saw from, you know, a number of people out there is, so with your busy lifestyles, you know, are you guys dating? You know, are you searching? I know for a fact you're not married.
I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to say that I'm dating, so...
Okay. Wanyama, you're looking at him like...
I was, but now...
for sure.
I would say... complicated.
It's complicated. All right, so they will be joining us during the sports bulletin. To, you know, you guys will have to read the news for us.
Victor
Arnold. I think Arnold is ready.
So everyone is saying
so
Victor Arnold. So all of you will have to just read one
Arnold
story.
Do it
so you have to stick around and watch as they read the sports news for us. Thank you so much, guys. We'll be getting back to you guys shortly.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Right. No, you can have it. You can
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not chasing you. All right. So let's take a look at other stories that are making headlines. And the supremacy war between Wiper Democratic Movement leader Kalonzo Musyoka and Machakos Governor Dr. Alfred Mutua continued in Makueni Friday as armed wild youth disrupted a Wiper rally at Kasikiu Market, forcing the meeting to be called off. The youth were carrying placards in support of Machakos Governor Mutua's Maendeleo Chap movement. Well, this as opposition leaders led by former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka claimed that the Jubilee administration was using the Machakos governor to divide the Ukambani region. Ben Kitili has more.
Wiper Democratic Movement leader and opposition coalition called co-principal Kalonzo Musyoka led a group of opposition leaders to Makueni County Friday. Addressing a series of rallies in the county, the opposition leaders now claim that the Jubilee administration is using Machakos Governor Dr. Alfred Mutua to divide the Ukambani region ahead of the 2017 general election.
Tukutane KICC Nairobi. Because this is a government that does not understand another language.
Kalonzo's sentiments came shortly after a botched rally at Kasikeu Market, where rowdy youth wielding banners in support of Machakos Governor Mutua's Maendeleo Chap disrupted a planned meeting. The youth attacked people who had gathered for the rally with whips and other crude weapons and dismantled tents. Wiper had to call off what was their first rally in Makueni, with political leaders including Makueni Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. and Machakos Deputy Governor Bernard Kiala fleeing the scene. Political analysts have described the former Vice President and the Machakos Governor as being in a political battle for the control of the Ukambani voting bloc. Kilome Member of Parliament Regina Ndambuki is at loggerheads with her Wiper party after being vilified for supporting Mutua's Maendeleo Chap initiative.
Mheshimiwa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, kama koti ilikupatia urais na ukachukua, tafadhali na kuomba hiyo koti ilisema walimu walipwe.
Walimu ambao wana hofu fulani ya kwamba wakionekana na wapinzani pengine mambo yataenda kombo. Hawa wenzetu wa Jubilee si marafiki wenu.
This occurs as the county of Makueni is bracing itself for possible fresh elections, following recommendations by the Mohamed Nyaoga-led Commission of Inquiry that the county government should be suspended.
Na sasa tukituma ndugu Orengo na pia waseme Kalonzo tosha ni mbaya.
Makueni Governor Professor Kivutha Kibwana was elected into office on a Mazingira party ticket. However, the Makueni governor has been aligning himself with Musyoka's Wiper Democratic Movement in recent weeks. The Wiper rallies have been seen as efforts to counter massive inroads that the Machakos governor has made into the region, especially Makueni County. Ben Kitili, KTN News.
From politics, we go to the health sector. And of course, another controversy. Two rival unions of Kenyan nurses have clashed, with each accusing the other of being fake. The National Nurses Association of Kenya and the Kenya National Union of Nurses are now accusing each other of being used to cripple the county health services through health worker strikes. Fatma Pole has the details.
The underlying currents in the ongoing health workers' crisis in the counties have come to the surface. First, with union leaders clashing over who are the rightful members and which is the rightful union. Leadership wrangles have rocked the unions, with the National Nurses Association of Kenya blowing the whistle over the withdrawal of 2.85 million shillings from the association's main account. They are pointing accusing fingers at their rivals, the Kenya National Union of Nurses, for allegedly trying to change officials of the Nurses Association.
So once you call a strike and it is illegal, your nurses are going to be sacked. I have members we are trying to sort out at Pumwani. They have not been paid since January because they went on an illegal strike. And this is what I'm saying. And when I support
the Council of Governors, there is somebody who is instigating these strikes. They are not legal. We have been calling strike in the normal way, and we know how to call a strike. We know when to negotiate. We know how to respect court orders. But the situation where we find that people are being told, kaeni ngumu, kaeni nje, then people must ask, who is this driving this issue?
There are wrangles in the leadership of nurses organizations. And this one we have to put on notice all the registrars. We put on notice the registrar of trade unions, and we put on notice the registrar of the societies to stop interfering with the nurses organizations.
But this battle for control of the nurses unions appears to be getting more intense.
The other imposter, Mr. Maina, took us to court through a judicial review of 144/2015, which was dismissed because the judge described it as a conman. So actually, the person you had dealt with at the complex was just one of our members whom we had lodged to use the facility today. But he has no capacity to declare himself as the chairman of the National Nurse Association of Kenya.
With the wave of health workers' strikes, many Kenyans have had to seek treatment in private hospitals. And as the crisis in Kenya's health sector keeps growing, Bomet Governor Isaac Ruto gave his 2 cents on the ongoing health issues bedeviling the sector. And when it came to the issue of cancer treatment, the former Council of Governors chairman was quick and sharp.
Kenyatta National Hospital sasa wamekwama. Na ni moja tu, mimi niko na 140, Mashari yako na moja. Na hiyo yake haifanyi kazi, ati watu waende private. Na juzi alikuwa anatupatia lectures. What is wrong with him?
Ruto took a jab at the Cabinet Secretary for Health, James Macharia, accusing him of failing to ensure that the radiotherapy machines were fixed in time.
The only 2 machines existing for oncology. Sasa imeharibika. And na ile equipment alikuwa anasema kuna mingi zingine aweka hapo. Tayari aweka. Can he install one meanwhile? So we are still waiting ajatuletea. One of those ones ile ilikuwa nakuja aweke hapo watu waendelee kutibiwa.
This is the 5th day since radiotherapy services were suspended at the Kenyatta National Hospital, leaving hundreds of cancer patients stranded. Ruto has praised the counties for what he termed as turning around the health sector, but at the same time accused unions and individuals in the national government for hindering that progress. Fatma Pole, KTN News.
My name is John Katana, and welcome to the KTN Friday briefing. The Kenya Performing Arts industry tonight celebrates the opening of the refurbished Kenya National Theatre. This is the place where many renowned artists have cut their teeth and perfected their art to shine on the Kenyan and on the international scene. Here are the pictures of the event this evening.
It is important to acknowledge those who did their best under difficult circumstances with little or no official and corporate support. There are those also who had to flee our country so that their artistic expression could thrive. And once again today, it is with pleasure that we welcome 2 of them, Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Professor Michere Mogo, back on the scene.
Oh, sorry.
Right, so we want to take a short breather. He wants to get Amwa Kenya. But please do tell us, you know how he performed, and of course the beautiful music that you've just heard. They're not done yet. They will be performing later on in the show in about 20 minutes. They will be performing some other very nice songs that we all love. Thank you so much for coming. Did you like it? Do you think this is something you can do?
I like it. I think I should try my hand at this.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Managing editor Joe Agio, please give this guy a job. He can do it. Right, I think I'll give you, let me say, 7.5 out of 10.
Asante, that's good enough.
That's good enough.
That's good enough.
Right,
yeah.
so we want to take a short break.
Sure.
What's coming up next? Welcome back. Time for business. Now, the Nairobi Securities Exchange has raised over 6.5 million shillings in its first ever charity trading session that was held for 1.5 hours today. NSE now becomes the first ever securities exchange to conduct charity trading in Africa, with its management saying this will be an annual event aimed at supporting socio-economic causes. KTN's Charles Gitonga was at the exchange and brings us the following story.
The Nairobi Securities Exchange held a rare event today, one that has never been witnessed in its 61-year-old history. For about 90 minutes, the exchange gathered local personalities and market participants to play the role of brokers and assist clients trade shares and securities, all geared towards raising money for wildlife conservation.
What we are seeing here today is something we've not witnessed in the history of the NSE, trading for charity. Yes. You can start by telling us what exactly is happening.
Okay. Today is a very exciting day. As you may see, for the first time the exchange has got new guests. We have animals on the floor. For us, this is an inaugural initiative, a very exciting opportunity to also be able to show the country that the NSE believes in sustainability of communities, sustainability of wildlife, sustainability of a lot of other things that aim to promote the well-being of Kenyan people. So today what we have is that we have invited all the trading participants. All the stockbrokers are on the floor, and you may have noticed we all have the red jackets today. We've also invited media personalities. We've invited athletes. We've invited well-known personalities, musicians, to come and become guest traders of these particular trades.
Having raised over 6.5 million shillings, the trading session marked a first of its kind experience as commerce and financial sector players put their best foot forward to directly support wildlife conservation. The beneficiary of the 90 minutes trade was Borana Conservancy, which is running a black rhino conservation program in Laikipia County.
Poaching is one of our biggest problems here in Kenya. There's a lot of effort to curb it, I think, seemingly. There is. Maybe you can tell us what you feel the impact of this is, especially economically.
Kenya's heritage, along with its culture, is its wildlife and its habitat. And if we don't keep it and protect it, we'll be left with nothing. And if you think about it, a lot of the degradation to habitat and wildlife has happened in the last 50 years, or in our lifetime, say. So it's a hugely significant day for our heritage and for our sort of kind of rights as citizens of Kenya to protect this heritage.
Tell us about your experience here today. It's not something, this is not what you do every day.
No, this is not what I do every day. We were coming in here today to sell shares, particularly to raise money for the conservation of the rhino. So yeah, I got called about 2 weeks ago, asked if I could do this. It's a fantastic opportunity when people are moved out of what they usually do, to come and add some kind of flavor, so to speak, to another cause. It was a fantastic thing.
Have you been able to trade some shares?
I was able to trade some shares. We traded shares for about 3.8 million shillings, and from that there's going to be about 20,000 going to the Conservancy.
The NSE will host a similar charity trading session every year in efforts to raise funds for charitable causes such as education and conservation, among others. Charles Gitonga, KTN News.
Are you a tech developer? Have you been having a difficult time using existing platforms? Well, mobile phone service provider Safaricom has opened up its M-Pesa platform to allow local and international developers to come up with next generation applications. By availing M-Pesa's application programming interface, also known as API, Safaricom is looking to scale up the number of new platforms it may roll out in the market. The company has been on a charm offensive to ward off growing competition from telcos and now players in the financial sector. The opening up of M-Pesa APIs complements other recent initiatives aimed at boosting M-Pesa transactions.
This will allow you to bring more innovative, to be more innovative in the solutions you're building for your own businesses around M-Pesa. Now, just to give you an idea of the numbers, as at the end of March, you probably heard, we had over 21 million customers, of which 60% are active monthly. We have over 80,000 Lipa na M-Pesa merchants and over 2,000 business partners disbursing funds to customers monthly or receiving payments. And the M-Pesa platform at that point, at the end of March, was moving around 398 billion Kenya shillings monthly, which is not a small number. So recently, we've opened up business-to-business payments and real-time settlement for merchants, positioning M-Pesa used to more than consumer customers, but also addressing now corporate customers' needs. Like we've said, the platform has evolved. If you remember, when we launched in March 2007, it was Send Money Home. It's now a payments platform. And it
Tusker FC have been handed a tricky fixture in this year's Top 8 tournament as they seek to defend the trophy for the second year running. The two-time champions were paired against FC Leopard in a draw that was conducted on Friday morning.
As usual, it's Tusker FC, isn't it?
The 5th edition of the KPL Top 8 tournament is expected to produce fireworks from day one as defending champions Tusker FC were drawn against FC Leopards in what will be the rematch of last year's final.
Gor Mahia.
Kenya Premier League champions Gor Mahia will face Muhoroni Youth as they aim to make it a double after they won it in 2012. While Ulinzi, who won the inaugural competition in 2011, will start their campaign against Sony Sugar in the quarterfinals.
This year, we hope to add to those counties our two other cities, namely Mombasa and Kisumu counties, as we endeavor to take football to the farthest parts of this country.
Sofapaka will play Chemelil. The tournament is aimed at giving participating clubs an alternative to the normal routine and also provide the coaches with a chance to rotate their players. This year's edition is also known as Road to Kisumu, with organizers planning to expand the tournament to the counties. A mini draw will be conducted to determine the semi-final fixtures.
American golfer Jordan Spieth believes Jason Day should be the top-ranked golfer in the world. The American believes Day's recent displays are enough to earn the world #2, the top spot. Elsewhere in Moscow, Bradley Dredge is on course to winning the Russian Open after taking the lead on day 2 of the competition.
All right, thank you so much for watching. We had Victor Wanyama, Arnold Origi, the Mushrooms, and Willis, who is all right, and team manager. And we're very excited to have had you on the show. Thank you very much for watching. This has been KTN Friday Briefing. All the best and have a lovely weekend as we continue to dance along here in studio with the Mushrooms. Good night. Leo.
Jirembeshe na ushine shine shine uwe kama beti kiano. Oh leo sitaki maneno na mtu.